my next guest. I enjoy talking to him every week, full of great information. Good afternoon, Vincent. How are you this afternoon?
I'm really, really excellent. How are you, Richard?
Very
happy Saturday.
good. Yeah, happy Saturday. What was your name again? Oh, that's right. We're talking memory today, so yes.
Well, don't forget to remember me.
Yes, it's a joke, people. Good heavens, say yes. Well, it's a great subject, isn't it, memory?
I think so, because we used to think, or we used to associate forgetfulness as an old people condition, or just reserved for people who are in the senior age.
Yep.
But, I mean, if I'm being honest, I forget things all the time. And if people listening, including yourself, you probably have the same issue sometimes.
I do.
Nothing major. Sometimes you just forget where you put the keys, or if you put down the keys to pick up a call from someone, and you leave the house without actually taking the keys. And that's a bit silly, because obviously you need the keys. I mean, my car, I still need the keys to turn the engine on. I know that some people don't even use keys for their cars anymore. But yeah, I really do think that this is a topic that needs to be explored and discussed a lot more, because I am a firm believer in that when we talk about some issues, it helps people to recognize that they may have the same issues, because the first step of solving a problem is recognizing the problem.
Spot on. I have a theory that because it's the society and the times that we live in now, we have to remember so much, because it's a more complex society now, that it has affected our memories.
Yes, and on top of that, the distraction. I really do think that we live in a world that is so fast and so complex that not only we have a lot of items that we have to remember, be it physical items or things like, that we have to do, that we have to be on top of, but also the distraction, because since smartphone is basically in our hands all the time, 24/7 almost, it creates a lot of distraction, because you have to keep up with all of the notifications, emails, social media, phone calls. I mean, probably people don't even talk to people on the phone now. They send emails, send messages, and a WhatsApp message, or like each other, comments on each other posts on Instagram. All of those things create distraction, and unfortunately, it erodes our memory. And memory is a fundamental aspect of our daily lives, not only for our professional lives, but also for our social interaction.
Very, it's spot on. It really is. I just forgot what we were talking about then for a minute. I'll keep doing all these gags all the way through.
Well, better work on that, because having a good memory significantly improves your social life and relationships.
Yeah.
Because you probably have been in a situation where you get angry at your partner or even your friends or coworker because they forget something, or vice versa. They get upset with you because you forget to pick up the kids at 5:30 because every other day is 5 o'clock, for example. So this is the reason why I want to talk about several effective strategies and techniques that can help us to enhance our memory recall and retention, because there are two types of memory, short-term and long-term. And memory is basically like a muscle. We need to exercise, to work it out, to make sure that we practice using it, because if you don't use it, you might lose it.
Exactly right. Stay mentally active is number one, isn't it?
Yes, and for me, it's Wordle. As someone whose first language is not English, I find that it's extremely challenging at times, but it is very, very stimulating, and it keeps my brain to think in the way that I like crossword, but people don't have time for crosswords now. I certainly don't. But Wordle, it is something that I know I will do every day. It only takes 5 minutes. Sometimes I have to put it down, go do something else, and then go back to it, because it's a particularly hard work for me on that day. But this is something that I know I will be doing every day for a very long time. So reading books is another strategy. Solving puzzles
Yeah.
like Sudoku, or learning a new skill and playing a strategy-based game can help sharpen your cognitive abilities, because these activities challenge your brain and promote the growth of neural connections, because this is what we're talking about. When it comes to short-term and long-term memory, what we are doing is basically creating this neural pathway. And not only we have to create them, we have to maintain them so they remain active.
And, I always say to people, because I'm a tech consultant and everything, I always say, learn how to use a computer properly. It really stimulates those pathways in there. People say, well, you'll go brain dead doing it. You know what? If you haven't done it before, get on there and learn how to do it, because it's a new skill that you can go along and get.
And it's a skill that will challenge you all the time, because
That's right.
Technology evolves I would say every day, but literally every second.
Yep.
And once you get into using your phone or your smartphone or your computer or your laptop or your iPad or your tablet, it is you're being, for lack of a better word, forced, maybe encouraged is a better word, to learn something new every day. Because when they update the operating system, you need to learn something new. Not entirely new, but it keeps your brain functioning and it challenges your brain every day.
Yeah. And sleep is so important to this, isn't it?
Sleep is important. Earlier, I think 3 weeks ago, we were talking about how to get good quality sleep, because sleep is basically, we were talking about computer, right? This is like a restart. This is a function, a biological function that helps our brain and mental capacity to replenish itself. Because without sleeping, so when you're sleeping, your brain is backing up all of this memory so that you can recall it when you need it. So if you don't have a good enough sleep, long enough sleep, and good enough sleep, these functions that your brain needs to do every night becomes impaired. And when it's impaired, it really does affect your memory and makes you, forget things easier and more often.
And we always say maintain that healthy lifestyle. Healthy body, healthy mind.
It is so true. And you can't expect your body to function, including your brain, to function properly if you don't fuel it properly. And when we say healthy lifestyle, we're talking about things that are very, very easy to do every day. Common sense. Make sure you are consuming a nutrient-rich diet, including fruits, vegetables, whole grains, omega-3 fatty acids, activated phenolics, activated saffron to help your mental resilience. It also, this is basically the things that your mom told you to eat instead of picking up your phone and order Uber Eats. Once in a while, it's fine. We always give
We
people
always
leeway.
say that. Yeah, got to have treats, folks.
That's correct, but not every day.
No. And, it's all about learning something, isn't it?
Learning something is a very good way and excuse for your brain to maintain the neural pathway, because you need to make sure that you grow your mental capacity, and this can be this can be done by making sure that you learn something new. You make sure that you teach someone else something new. Whenever your parents ask you how to connect the printer, their iPad to the printer, it's not only helping them. You're helping them solving an issue, but you're actually actively engaging that learning side in your brain. So it's a win-win situation.
Which is good. And I really agree with the next point. Break information into chunks. Because,
yes.
It's great to have that whole, holistic view of something, but sometimes it's too much for us to absorb, isn't it?
That's correct. And everybody, be it their learning capacity or their age or their focus and bandwidth at that time, can absorb new information or can learn something in a very different way. So some people like to really get everything in one go and then go away and then start to synthesize it into in their brain when they are away from the source of information. Some people like to write it down. Some people like to take information in chunks and then combine them together in their head. So the reason why I included this point is to tell people that it's okay if the way that you are learning can be seen as a slower learning, because it's all about process. It's not a sign of weakness or
No.
Deteriorating mental function. No, it's just the way that some people learn. And for me, for example, I should be better at technology, but I am not that good if I'm being overwhelmed with the information. So the way that I learn it is by going through the guide step by step. And once I complete every step in the guide, the next time I do it, I don't need to do it step by step. I can do it much faster, easier, and with more confidence. So I feel that people need to recognize that it's okay to take things slower sometimes.
Now, here's the one that's so hard for people.
Yes, I know. I'm guilty as charged too, but you go for it.
Minimise your distractions, people, and practice on focus.
Yes. Unfortunately, now we are all like goldfish in terms of our attention span. I don't know. When I was preparing for this talk today, I don't actually know why that's the case. I mean, sure, we can blame smartphones and 5G internet because everything is so fast. But I also think that, especially millennials, we were trained to binge watch television shows. Like when I was younger, you have to wait every week.
You had to wait for
episodes.
a week. Yes.
I know. But now you can binge watch Netflix show on the weekend, just one weekend. So I feel that, and how many times, how often is it that many of us turn on the TV or Netflix show or Disney Plus show, but then turn to our phones to browse through YouTube or Instagram.
Concentrate on the thing you're watching, people. Put the phone down.
Exactly. But I know that it's hard because I do this all the time too. So I feel that instead of me lecturing that we need to minimize distraction and practice focus, how about we try to do it together? We remind each other. So it helps us, not only our memory, but also our social interaction, because when you can focus and be present, it improves your communication skill. It improves your relation with your significant others. It improves your relationship with your parents and your kids and your friends. So, yeah.
I mean, I've just got a new phone, and I'm going to talk about that later on today, but I've turned off all notifications on the phone.
I know that I actually felt really bad because you guys were like 3 minutes late and I was texting you, not fully knowing that you're on the air. So I actually created distraction to you. So, yeah. We're all guilty as charged, but we all can try to do a little bit better every day.
We can. So all the tips we've given you today are trying to help your memory, because it's harder in the 21st century that we're living in now, because we've got so much information around us that it does become overwhelming.
Yes, but if we do these good exercises and techniques for our mental capacity and bandwidth every day, it helps us to cope with all of this distraction and all of this lack of focus, because I'm telling you, it's not going to get any less distracting.
No.
What we need to do is we need to increase our capability to deal with it.
We do. Vincent, where can we find out more about you?
And appleaday.com.au. It is a great website where you can get your recipes, you can get healthy lifestyle tips and advice and tricks. You can also listen to the podcast recording of my session with Richard every week. And if you learn about what we do, please go to Woolworths and Coles. We're in the vitamins and skincare aisle, because in what we do, not only we are supporting your health and well-being, we're also supporting Australian apple farmers. So win-win situation again.
Which is great. Vincent, we will talk to you next week on 5AA. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, and be safe. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Vincent.